Hello, everyone. My name is Amal Nirgudkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism. I have with me today Christine Deal and Sarah Barney from DSO Hygiene Excellence. And they have both created an amazing national organization for hygienists in the DSO space. You want to check them out at dsohygieneexcellence.com or their Facebook group. The question I have for you guys, and I think it's on the minds of many people, we all know that the hygiene schedules this fall look dangerously slim. And I wanted to ask you both the questions of what can we do right now to make sure that our hygiene schedules this fall are full and we're not, facing empty offices in quarter number 4. So what are thoughts around that?
Yeah, and you're right. And to your point, Amal, we noticed the same thing in our practice too. As we looked ahead, we were like, oh, once you get over the initial kind of back to it, then it does seem like there's going to be a little bit of a slowing down period. People that were in March are not going to be coming back in September, right? April, you'll see the referral people aren't going to be in October. So how do you feel that? One of the things that has worked for us great in the past couple of weeks is using the new periodontal guide staging and grading. That staging and grading guide is definitely more comprehensive. It definitely looks at more risk factors, and it recommends for patients with, even just recession, four pockets, bleeding, to be reevaluated in 3 months. And we're using that guide in collaboration with our doctor. So the doctor comes in to do the exam. We're asking him, so what stage is this patient? Is there bone loss? Here's where they have recession. Here's where they had bleeding. So in front of the patient, we're diagnosing them, and then, oh yeah, they're stage 1. I'm like, so then do you want him to be on through a cleaning schedule? Yes. The patient's hearing this conversation. The doctor then, tests the patient. There's a new recommendation. There's a new guide. Instead of you coming back in 6 months, we would like you to come in 3 months just to address this risk. And we've actually moved quite a few patients from 6 months recare to 3 months to fill up October and November. So that's worked very well for us. And we're elevating patient care, right? We're using the guideline. We're elevating patient care and filling the schedule. So it's win-win-win.
So that's for tip number 1, use the staging and grading guide, get them to kind of come into a 3-month kind of cadence instead of the 6-month cadence, and get them scheduled for October, November, December, which is great. What's the second tip?
The second tip would be referrals. With the COVID, 25% of offices haven't reopened. And so really a lot of patients out there that were regularly going or seeing a dentist now have no home to go to. So it's very important that we let them know we're here for them. So I think making sure our current patients have referrals, and they can let their friends know we're open, we're available, and we're here for you.
Wonderful. And that's, I think it's important, right? I mean, obviously every business needs referrals, and if you're seeing a patient, you might as well, because they know, we know right now demand exists. And because the doctors haven't opened up, I mean, they may be able to tell their family members, hey, Dad, when's the last time you saw it? My hygienist is open and available to see you this Friday. So it's great. I think it'll be a great opportunity to get that. And so that's tip number 2, is ask for referrals. Mm-hmm. Tip number 3.
So tip number 3 is work your recare schedule. I noticed in our own office, as we all came back after COVID, or I guess it was during COVID, as we've come back, it's a little bit hectic, right? We're all trying to figure out how do you don the PPE, how do you see patients, how do you clean rooms in between? There's a lot going on. There's certainly an elevated level of busyness and extra. How do we fit it all in that goes into the day? I think in a lot of offices, we're not back at full staff. At our office, we're not back to 100% of staff that we had before COVID. And so there are people that were working recall. There are people who were helping in, would chime in. It wasn't their primary responsibility, but the floater person or the extra assistant who was there would jump in and do recare. That person's probably not in your office anymore to do that. So for us as hygienists, we realized, oh, and so-and-so always did recall, and wait, who's doing recall? Nobody. Yeah. So to make sure that you're taking the lead and making sure that someone's working recare. If you have new people in your office, making sure they understand how your recall process works, help them print print it, help them walk through some of the patients that that want to come in, maybe the ones that you're concerned about the most, a periodontal patient or somebody that has a lot of stain, like call them, just as a hygienist, facilitate the recare schedule being done. Even if you call up on recare, print just a past due list or print their forward list. Just make sure that you're really being a facilitator and making sure that recall is being done and the patients that need care get in. I think that will, I think we've all calmed down a little bit from all the busyness, so we can start focusing on that.
Yeah.
I cannot emphasize, because I talk to a lot of DSOs around the country, and it's challenging right now because there's not enough people to work the recare. And all of a sudden, and if you don't work it, and patients are gonna say like, yeah, I'm gonna just wait. Maybe I'll work out when the vaccine comes out, right? And people are, there's no incentive right now, right? So it's really important to work that recare actively, whether it's your outbound campaigns that you do through text and email, but it's also important to call. We really believe in the power of conversation at Patient Prism. And it's very important to actually talk to someone and tell them about, hey, come on in. We've got everything in our office to protect you. This is what we've got, and don't hesitate. We want to take care of your health right now. And it's so important. Now, these are amazing tips. To summarize them, I think use the staging and grading guide that's updated recently to kind of help co-diagnose better with your doctor, asking for referrals from every single patient, and then really working your recare. These are fabulous tips to kind of ignite back and get back on a full schedule in this fall, because it looks really bad right now. So thank you so much for these tips. Enjoyed the conversation. And again, if you want to learn more about what these ladies are up to, which is pretty amazing, go to dsohygieneexcellence.com and join their Facebook group, because you're going to find a lot of these amazing tips, not just this, but everything else around your personal and professional growth. And good luck to both of you guys. And we're excited to see this organization flourish over the next few years.
Thank you all for your support. We're excited too. The future is going to be bright.